So let us solve another problem using the minor loss and major losses equations. So I'll just read out the question which is given to you in the notes also. You can refer the notes to read this question again. So I'm going to read this question and I'll explain how to solve this problem. Okay. So the question is like this: the difference in the water surface levels in two tanks which are connected by three pipe in series of length 300 meter, 170 meter and 210 meter and of diameters 30 centimeter, 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter respectively is 12 meter. Okay. Determine the rate of flow of water if the coefficient of friction are 0.005, 0.0052 and 0.0048 respectively, considering the minor losses and also neglecting the minor losses. Okay, so this is the question which is given to you. From this question, what we will do is we will write down all the given data and we will also see what is to be calculated. From that we will try to solve the problem. Okay, so as you read the question, you will be able to understand that there are two tanks and that tank is connected by three pipes in series. Okay, so you try to understand there are three pipes of different lengths and different diameters which are connected one after the other. Okay, so if these are the pipes, the pipe is connected like this one after the other. There are three pipes like this. So these three pipes are connecting two different tanks. So these two different tanks which we have a water difference level. So the water difference level is given to you and the diameter and length of the pipe is given to you. First we will write down what is the length of the pipe. So as we know, the length of the pipe is 300 meter, 170 meter and 210 meter, and their respective diameters are 30 centimeter, 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter. Okay, so once we have written the length and diameters of the pipe, the next thing is we will see what is the difference of water level between the two tanks. So difference of water level between the two tanks is 12 centimeter, which is given to you. Next, if you read the next part of the question, it is said that you need to determine the discharge. You have to calculate how much is the discharge, and he has given you what is the friction coefficient. Okay, so he has given you the F value, and the F value will also vary with respect to different type of pipe. So pipe 1, which is having a dimension of L1 and D1, has a friction F1. So F1 is 0.005. Similarly, F2 and F3 is also given to you. So let us write down all these given data over here and then we can start solving it. Okay. Now you need to find out discharge in two conditions. What are those two conditions which are given to you? The first condition which is given to you is considering the minor losses. You need to consider the minor loss, and the next step is to neglect the minor losses and determine how much is the discharge. Okay, you need to determine the discharge here. Okay. So what we'll do is in the previous class or in the previous video, I had explained you how the hydraulic gradient line and total energy line will help you solve the problem. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take the basics of what we studied in the previous video, and using that itself we'll try to solve this problem. So I hope you remember that there was two tanks. So these two tanks were connected by a single pipe. Now what we'll do is, the only change that will happen in this case is it is connected by three pipes. Assume it is connected by three pipes like this. Okay, so all those pipes are in series. So this pipe is pipe 1, this is pipe 2 and this is pipe 3. So the difference in water level is given to you. So I told you in the previous video how we can solve the head loss. So H will be equals to sum of H is representing the difference of water level. So the difference of water level will be equal to sum of all the head loss that will take place. So in the previous video, you know that the head loss due to entrance was considered, head loss due to friction was considered, and head loss due to exit was considered, right? Now similarly here also we will use the same thing, but there are more losses here, so we will consider one by one. Okay, now let us go to considering the second condition. What is the second condition we have? Neglecting the minor losses. Okay, either we can solve the first one or the second case. I want to solve from the first case itself. So once we solve the first case, we can go to the second case also. Okay, the first case is like this. H is representing the difference of water level. It should be equal to sum of all the losses. Okay, now there is a tank 1. So from the tank 1, the water enters into pipe 1, right? So here there is a entrance loss, right? So there is an entrance loss which I included, which is 0.5 V1 square by 2G, right? Once the water is traveling in the first pipe, so here there is a frictional resistance offered by the first pipe, which can be calculated like this. So this we can call it as HF1. HF1 is representing the head loss due to friction that is taking place in the first pipe. So this will be F1 into L1 V1 square divided by 2G D1, right? So we know how much is F1, L1 and V1. We'll see how to calculate the V1, and D1 is also given to you. From this we can calculate how much is the head loss due to friction in the first pipe. Next, again it is connected by another pipe. So this pipe, when water moves from this pipe, first pipe to the second pipe, there is a sudden contraction. Now see, how do we determine the sudden contraction? By looking into the diameters. So the pipe 1 is 30 centimeter diameter, pipe 2, which is immediately getting connected, is 20 centimeter diameter. Means what? This is a sudden contraction that is going to take place. And now we need to determine what is that equation to calculate the sudden contraction. So in the previous video I had given you what is the equation to calculate the sudden contraction, which is 0.5 V square by 2G, right? Now after the contraction, the next is the loss that is going to take place while the water moves in the second pipe, which will be called as HF2, head loss due to friction in the pipe 2 of length 170 meter. Now after that, again it will enter into the third pipe, and you can see that the pipe diameter is increasing now. See here, from 20 centimeter to 40 centimeter it is increasing. Because of that, it will be an expansion or enlargement. So this is the equation which I had derived you in the previous video, right? But you need to observe what are the velocities that I am using. So the velocity in the first pipe will be called as V1, the velocity in the second pipe will be called as V2, the velocity in the third pipe will be called as V3. Now there is a enlargement that is taking place between pipe 2 and pipe 3, right? So the velocity in the pipe 2 is V2, the velocity in the pipe 3 is V3. Now I need to consider these two in this equation. So V2 minus V3 whole square divided by 2G will give you how much is the head that is lost due to enlargement. Okay, so now this is done. Again the water flows in the pipe 3. So this is your HF3, which is head loss due to friction in the third pipe, and after that the water enters into the tank, right? So this is the exit loss. The exit loss should be equal to V3 square by 2G. So this completes considering all the head losses. In this equation we have considered both the losses due to minor conditions and the losses of major condition, which is head loss due to friction. Now previously understanding that the difference of water level in the two tanks will be equivalent to the sum of all the losses that will take place. Okay, so this is the equation that I have written. From this equation I am going to calculate how much is the discharge. Okay, right. Now let us focus on the continuity equation. So continuity equation says that Q is equals to A1 V1 A2 V2 A3 V3. So from this we can say that V1 is equals to Q by A1, V2 is equals to Q by A2, and V3 is equals to Q by A3. Let us first calculate how much is A1, A2 and A3. So A1, A2 and A3 can be calculated by the corresponding diameters of pipe 1, pipe 2 and pipe 3. So this is 30 centimeter, 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter. Let us calculate the areas A1, A2 and A3. So once you solve this, we can calculate how much is V1 in terms of Q. Okay, we do not know what is the Q value, that is what need to be calculated. So 1 divided by this value A1 will give you how much is V1 in terms of Q. So V1 in terms of Q is 14.164, V2 in terms of Q is 13.847, V3 in terms of Q is 7.96. So once you determine velocities in terms of discharge, right? So the next step would be to go back to this equation. So here what I have done is that if you go to this equation, instead of V1 I have to substitute how much is this value, which is 14.164 Q, right? So assume that I have substituted this value over here. So 0.5 multiplied by 14.164 square will give you 100.309 Q square. Okay, now as you know that 2G is remaining common in all these terms, I have taken 1 by 2G separately common. Okay, now going to this equation, if I have taken the 2G outside, so what is left over in this equation? This equation is left with only F1 into L1 into V1 square divided by D1. Okay, so what is V1 square? V1 square is again 14.164. So F1 we already know, L1 is already known, d1 is already known, substitute those values in this equation and solve it. Now by solving that I got it 1003.09 q square something. I have done similar thing to all the terms. Okay, I keep on substituting the velocity in terms of discharges, and I have determined the terms in terms of discharges itself, square of discharges itself. Okay, and as we know in the left hand side it is 12, and solving this you will get to know how much is the discharge. So this is the discharge which is calculating considering both the minor losses and the major losses. Okay, so this completes calculating the discharge by the first condition. Next we will solve is by the second condition. So in the second condition, what it is been told, you need to neglect all the minor losses. What are the minor losses that you have? The minor losses are your entrance and exit. Then we have sudden contraction and sudden expansion. You neglect all those equations. So what is left is this and this equation. So in these equations, again I have taken 1 by 2g common, and I have already determined how much is this values are. So I'll substitute back into them, take the sum of this and solve the discharge again. Now the discharge equation here solved is solved by considering or neglecting the minor losses, right? So the discharge here is 0.2042 meter cube per second, and here it is 0.188 meter cube per second. So this is how you can solve the discharge in the pipe that is required, okay, using the head loss equations. Okay, there are a few more similar problems that are given to you. If you find difficulty in solving any of that, you can send me those questions. I'll try to solve here.